What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DrummerJacob here with a tutorial video today showing you everything you need to know to make music in Rust. Rust came out with MIDI support back in December of 2019, and it's the only game of its kind to have MIDI support for music. You may remember the old days of Rust music. The game features 12 instruments, 6 percussion. We got piano, drums, xylophone, tambourine, cowbell, and gong. 3 guitars. You got your bass guitar, your jerry can guitar, which is a steel string, and then the old school nylon string guitar, or I think they call it the acoustic guitar. Then you got 2 horns, trumpet, and sousaphone, and last but not least, a woodwind instrument called the pan flute. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to download, install, configure, and play music in Rust. We're going to focus on using a MIDI player to play songs so that we can adjust the pitch and the tempo, pause, and save playlists of songs. Alright, let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so let's start by going to rustmidi.com. MIDI. It's just a little website I put together to help people get their music going in Rust. Go to the download page, scroll to the bottom, and there's 2 required downloads here. Right click those and open them in a new tab, and just download each one. This one might have a pop-up for you asking you to download WinRAR or WinZip, and you might want that to help you open these files. Alright, and then you got Loop MIDI. Go and download that one as well. And just get both of these in the same folder. And then let's open up that folder. And now we need to extract these into the folder so we can install them. So once I double click and open it up, I close the little pop-up and just drag the contents of the folder into the main folder here. Into my download folder. Okay, so now I've got the contents of everything put out. I'm going to delete these RAR files and cut and paste the contents over to a new file that I'm going to create called Rust MIDI Music. And this is going to have all of our stuff, all of our music and everything. Alright. So we will install Loop MIDI. Just make sure everything's checked. If you don't want a shortcut, you don't have to, but it's helpful to have one. Super fast install, really simple program. This is what ports the signal into Rust from your MIDI device or MIDI program. So I've already got one, but I'm going to delete it. So this is what you start with. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it whatever you want. So you click the plus button to add it. Now it's an active track. So now it's receiving signals and it'll send it to Rust whenever it receives it. So now we click on MIDI Player in the MIDI Player folder. And this opens up the program. We can close these 2 extra windows here. They're just like lyrics and stuff. We don't need that. Now here's the overall layout. Click the settings cogwheel and turn off use bass and deselect use MIDI mapper as well. Whatever you selected in Loop MIDI, that's your output port. That's all you ever have to do. And everything else is unchecked. So now I click play. I'm still not quite hearing it, so I need to restart Rust. On a first install, you have to restart Rust. After that, you can open these programs after you've already got the game open, no problem. Now, back to rustmidi.com here. Go to the top of the downloads page, click the thumbnail, and it'll take you to my Patreon page where you can purchase my pack of music for $5. And as of now, it's more than 10,000 songs. I believe it's like 10,250 or something like that. But I'm always updating it. It's in its 3rd update. So you don't need to download the first 2 there, you can just download the 3.0. Do the same thing, open it up in your RAR or zip Now you've got all the different instruments. I've got MIDI files designed for each instrument. So open up the folder that we created, and you might want to create a new folder if you want. I like to make a music folder. So we'll just drag these in there. And there you go. You got your music library set up. Now you can add whatever you want by downloading free MIDIs from any of the websites you find on Google, but this is a good starting point. I've been playing music in Rust for about 4 years now, ever since it came out, and have been asking people for requests and songs they like. So this is a compilation of songs that people have requested and I've thought of over the years. Most of the songs are in the piano folder, and they're organized by style of music. So just having a look here, like this is the rock folder. Got Alice in Chains, Beatles, Dave Matthews, Jamiroquai, Ozzy Osbourne, Smashing Pumpkins, Slipknot, all sorts of stuff. Got the hip hop section. Got 50 Cent, Bone Thugs, Eminem, Jay-Z, Ludacris, Notorious B.I.G. A lot of old school rappers, not a lot of new stuff because some of the new hip hop styles like the synthesizers and stuff, they don't quite fit into Rust. They don't sound good. Then you got your meme folder. Got some funny stuff here. Got the Indian song, the Rick Roll, Rush E, Coffin Dance, all that good stuff. Now got the national anthems from people around the world. And if I missed your country, feel free to let me know in the Discord, and I'll add it in there. Got soundtracks from different things, from TV shows, movies, video games, all sorts of stuff. Got the Simpsons, Looney Tunes, King of the Hill, Final Fantasy, Disney stuff, Batman, all sorts of good stuff. Oh, you even got your holiday music. Right now it's mostly Christmas and Halloween. I'm looking to add some more stuff, but we'll see. Got some New Year's, that New Year's song. Now you get the classical section, which is the biggest. There's just so much out there in MIDI format because of how long the music has been around. So it was very easy to obtain. And I would say hip hop is the hardest to obtain because of how it's usually behind a paywall. Got a lot of good pop and oldies. Of course, you got your Tay-Tay. So that's it. So you've got different styles of music within each instrument. Let's pick a song here. Let's just go with Nirvana, Lithium. That's a good one. So we'll open up our MIDI player and just drag and drop it in there. I'm going to delete this default track here. So that's it. You just drag your songs in there and they'll play. Now, the only thing I wanted to add here is in Rust, you need to go to your options and go over to controls, and just down to the right is MIDI input. Just make sure that's turned on. That's all you have to do in Rust to set it up. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is if you right click up there towards the top, you can keep it always on the top so that it doesn't get hidden behind your window. So now that I'm clicked in the game and I'm moving around, my MIDI player stays on the top, but I can still minimize it if I want. All right, so now that we got that, you can pull up your music folder, give it a play here, and there we go, we're rocking and rolling, just like that. Now every time you Alt-Tab out of Rust, there's a little bit of lag, so your song's gonna skip, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's mess with the tempo a little bit. One of the benefits of using MIDI Player is having control of the tempo. So we'll speed it up a little bit. You can go from 100% up to 200%. Now we can go down to 50%. And you can also use this piano with your mouse. So there's all sorts of things you can do on here that you can't do in the Rust console or using other programs. You can even make your own music. Alright, let's put this back. Now the other thing you can change is the pitch. So I just made the pitch go really high, which raised it up an octave, which makes all the notes higher. Now I just lowered it by 1/2 step, which makes it sound kind of weird. This can be used for singers. If you're a singer that's trying to adjust a song for your vocal range, you can adjust the pitch. Or you can just make it sound cool. It could be nice to have it sound higher or lower. When you start to use the other instruments, you'll want to use this pitch function because you'll have to raise the song up or lower it down to fit on different kind of instruments, like the trumpet or the bass guitar. Here, let's get the trumpet out here. So the trumpet's on a higher range compared to the piano. So listen to this. This is the same song we just heard on the piano. But it sounds like garbage, right? There's missing notes. That note's not playing. None of these notes are playing. So this is where it starts, right here. This note's on the B flat. It goes up 3 octaves. So it goes from that B flat, 3 different octaves, and then it stops. Doesn't work there, okay. So the trumpet will only pick up 3 octaves worth of notes, right? But there's 8 octaves on a piano. So you're going to be missing a lot of the song. So you use your pitch slider to move it up and down and make it fit on the instrument that you're using that has different limitations. The bass guitar is the opposite. The bass guitar has the low notes, right? Alright, now it sounds good. So now that we moved it all the way up, a whole octave, that's sounding perfect, actually. Now that we're back to normal, you can hear it again. So this is really important for making these work on different instruments. So always experiment with this. Not to get too technical with music theory, but by moving it up plus 12, that's 12 half steps. That is 1 octave, which is like going from the same note to the same note higher up. So it doesn't change the sound of the song, it just moves everything up. Alright, now for my favorite part, let's put some drums on here. So let's go back to the main folder of our MIDI files. Let's go to the drums. Let's do some Blink 182. Their stuff's always upbeat. Alright. The party song. Classic. So yeah, like this is crazy. And if somebody was playing the piano part to this, you could sync it up. As long as one of you is not lagging, you can get in a Discord call or something and count down 3, 2, 1 and press play, and you can actually sync these up. I've done it. I've done it many times. So it's really fun, actually. Now notice this same song is playing, but it's for the drums, right? So it sounds like crap on the piano. So if you ever hear songs that sound like crap on the piano, it's because there's a drum part in this song. That's why it does that. If you go to the UKN lobby or some pianos around Rust, you'll hear a lot of weird sounding songs. They usually downloaded a free song that has a drum part in it that sounds crappy, but I got these ones isolated specifically for the drums, so they sound real good. So let's make a playlist. So you've got a couple of songs you like. You might want to play those again sometime, right? So you right-click in the playlist area. You can add files there. You can play them directly from in there, but we can create a playlist, find a place to save it. I'm going to just put it in my new songs folder. Put my favorite songs on there. Okay, so now we close it. Now, you can just double click this file and it opens up your playlist, or you can drag and drop it into there. And there you go. It's as easy as that. And finally, I'll show you how to play music using the Rust console, the way it was originally designed. So press F1 to open the console. Now to get the information, we go to the Rust wiki on the instruments page. wiki.facepunch.com/rust/instruments. I've actually contributed to this page a few times. So go to the bottom, go to the mid support, and it shows you the commands there to use in red. Instruments.playRecording file name. To find the folder to put the songs in, go to Steam, right click Rust, click Properties, go to Installed Files, and click the folder, and it'll take you to your Rust folder. Like it says on the wiki, if the folder doesn't exist, you should create it. So now that we've got the folder called Instruments, we put a song in there. And you have to be able to type it in, so I'm going to rename it to something simple. Just the title in one word. Okay, now I've got the command here, instruments.playRecording human. And then it immediately starts playing. Now the thing about using the console is you can't really stop it like you can on the player. And it also doesn't try to play it on the wrong instrument somehow. I don't quite understand this part. A MIDI signal is a MIDI signal, so it should be trying to send it anyway, but... And you can't use your keyboard over... Although it does stop it when you use it, so that's good to know. So the way to stop it is to just press R to open up your keyboard and play a note on it as if you were messing around. And it will stop the track. Alright, folks, that's it for today's instructional video. I hope I answered most of your questions, but just in case you have questions or concerns, join the Discord and I'll get back to you there. Enjoy the fun of Rust music, and make sure to check back on my YouTube channel for upcoming Rust music video content. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah.